Have you ever felt stuck in a never-ending web of rules and paperwork? Why does it sometimes seem like, no matter how hard you try, the system just keeps tightening its grip? And have you wondered why so much of life feels like navigating endless red tape instead of real freedom? If so, then you're experiencing what Max Weber described over a century ago. As a sociologist during a time of massive social transformation, Weber warned that this growing web of bureaucracy would become an iron cage, trapping our freedom, creativity, and spontaneity beneath endless rules and control. In the late 1800s and early 1900s, Weber observed large bureaucratic institutions rapidly growing. These institutions replaced traditional, personalized ways of working and social relations with formalized rules, rigid hierarchies, and standardized procedures that reshaped society in fundamental ways. Weber called this process rationalization, where efficiency and control became the highest priorities. But this shift came with a cost. Individual freedom, creativity, and meaningful human connections were often suppressed beneath layers of regulation and routine. He described bureaucracy as an iron cage, a vast network of rule-bound systems that imprisoned people's creativity, spontaneity, and independence. Instead of vibrant human interactions, individuals became trapped under endless paperwork, strict rules, and mechanical procedures. For example, factory workers performing repetitive tasks under tight supervision lost much of their autonomy and became mere cogs in impersonal machines. Weber warned that, while such systems might be efficient, they risked disconnecting people from richer, more spontaneous aspects of life. The first core idea is rules over people. In bureaucracy, rules become more important than the individuals they serve. Imagine a job applicant rejected because they forgot to tick one small box on the form, even though their skills and experience were excellent. Consider a customer who submits a refund request just minutes after a deadline. Instead of hearing their story, the company rejects it outright. Here, rigid rules block compassion or flexibility, locking reasonable people out and enforcing blind obedience. Or think of a teacher forced to follow a strict curriculum that ignores students' unique learning needs, simply because that's the official policy. Human judgment and care get replaced by inflexible rules that squeeze out common sense. Even in healthcare, a patient might be denied treatment because they missed paperwork or a deadline. The system follows rigid rules over the human realities of illness, often prioritizing forms strictly over the patient's immediate well-being and urgent needs. The second core idea is impersonal treatment. Bureaucracy removes the human touch. Have you ever called a helpline and ended up trapped in robotic menus, pressing buttons endlessly but never talking to a real person? This cold, automated response is a sign of the iron cage. Imagine a busy hospital where patients are turned into just numbers and rushed through without real human connection or meaningful interaction. Efficiency takes priority, while empathy and personal care sadly get lost in the fast-paced, overwhelming process. Filling out government forms online can feel like navigating an emotionless, confusing maze. The system doesn't consider your unique situation, offering no room for what-if questions or personal exceptions, making you feel completely invisible and unheard. Customer service bots responding with canned answers to complex problems is another common example. Instead of truly listening, the system treats everyone as identical cases. It's completely missing the individual's unique and specific needs or circumstances. The third core idea is loss of creativity. Bureaucracy's strict rules and procedures can kill innovation. Picture an employee who invents a clever shortcut to improve their work, only to be told that's not the official way. New ideas hit a wall. Students eager to explore new ideas and ask meaningful questions are often forced to spend most of their time memorizing facts to succeed in standardized tests. Their natural curiosity and imagination frequently get crushed beneath the heavy weight of a uniform, rule-based education system. Startups and entrepreneurs face mountains of complex regulations, spending more time on tedious paperwork than on actually building new products or innovative services. Bureaucracy becomes a frustrating barrier that stifles creativity, slows growth, and limits potential success. Even in large corporations, innovation often suffers because employees feel pressured to follow rigid protocols without question. They fear punishment or backlash if they deviate from established rules or try new approaches. This environment discourages creativity and keeps companies stuck in old patterns. The fourth core idea is trapped in rationalization. Rationalization means organizing everything by strict efficiency and measurable logic. Imagine a delivery driver forced to follow a GPS route that's clearly slower, just because the system says so, overriding human judgment. Managers who become obsessed with dashboards and data analytics sometimes lose sight of the real people behind the numbers. They begin to value statistics and metrics more than the human experience, overlooking the unique challenges and stories behind each data point. Companies that use software to track every second of workers' time effectively turn jobs into tightly timed tasks. This constant monitoring squeezes out trust and personal freedom, replacing them with rigid, data-driven control that treats employees more like machines than humans. Customer support centers often prioritize reducing call times over genuinely solving customers' problems. This pressure pushes employees to rush customers off the line quickly, sacrificing service quality and customer satisfaction in favor of meeting strict efficiency metrics and quotas. The fifth core idea is work as mechanical routine. Bureaucracy turns work into repetitive, lifeless tasks. Imagine office employees moving like robots, clocking in, performing the same motions every day without questioning why or finding meaning. Factory workers stuck doing the same repetitive tasks can quickly lose their sense of meaning or connection to the true value of what they produce. Over time, they become mere cogs in a vast, impersonal machine, feeling disconnected and replaceable. Gig economy workers often juggle back-to-back jobs. It's pushed by app timers, ratings, and algorithmic demands, rather than their own personal choice or passion. This relentless pace turns their labor into a constant mechanical motion, leaving little room for rest or fulfillment. Even knowledge workers can feel trapped in endless cycles of meetings, reports, and repetitive emails. This constant busyness leaves very little room for true creativity or genuine engagement. This also turns their workdays into monotonous routines that drain motivation and inspiration. If all this sounds familiar, it's because Weber's iron cage exists everywhere. In our offices, schools, hospitals, and even inside our phones. The drive for order and efficiency often comes at the expense of freedom, individuality, and meaning. The good news, Weber's insights help us recognize the cage. Awareness is the first step to breaking free by demanding systems with more flexibility, empathy, and human judgment, where people, not rules, come first. This means always questioning blind obedience to rigid rules and procedures instead of following them without thought. It involves valuing creativity and innovation. It means insisting that organizations prioritize serving real human needs, not just their own bureaucratic logic. Next time you find yourself stuck in frustrating bureaucracy, remember, these systems were shaped over 100 years ago. But you don't have to stay trapped. Recognizing the cage is the first step toward reclaiming freedom. If this video gave you new insight, please hit like and subscribe. Share your own experiences with bureaucracy in the comments. I'd love to hear how you cope or resist. Thanks for watching, and let's keep exploring the cages modern life builds and how to escape them.